Hey guys, Sondy Dupont here and welcome to this video. Unless you were born in a wealthy family, there are a lot of purchases that you probably would never be able to do unless you spend a lifetime saving for it or someone would give you that money to make those purchases. And I'm talking exactly about maybe buying a brand new car or buying or constructing a house. And when it comes to credit, one thing that is very important that all of us would agree that financial institutions would look at is what is called your credit score. So in this video, I will be telling you what is a credit score, how can you improve a credit score if you have a bad one, and if you already have a good one, how you can make it excellent. If these are things that interest you, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and here we go, we're going straight to the video. What is a credit score? Simply put, a credit score is a number that tells lenders how reliable you are when it comes to paying back money that you owe. This technically tells lenders how risky it is to lend you money. The higher your score, the more likely you are to be approved for the loan that you apply for. Credit scores are usually measured between 300 and 900, with 900 being the best and 300 being the worst. So in between, you can be medium, you can be excellent, or you can just have a mediocre credit score. Not only with a higher credit score, you're more likely to be approved for a loan, but you also will get the best loan that this company has to offer. But with a lower credit score, you probably will be denied, and if you don't, you will have to pay hefty interest loans. And especially in our times where the interest rates are very high, with a low credit score, you can be paying so much more in interest. Another thing to also consider is that credit score, it's not only about borrowing money. Credit score is a metric that other people measure you and your reliability. For example, I am a landlord, and as a landlord, in order to rent my house to someone, what I will do a credit check on them to see how the credit score is going. So the lower the credit score, the more I realize that this person may not be that reliable. But higher the credit score, then there is most likely a possibility of that person always paying on time. Some companies, before they hire you, they do a credit check on you because they want to make sure that you know how to handle money, especially in the banking industry or the financial industry in general. Now that you know a little bit about what a credit score is, so let's talk about a couple of steps that you can do to actually improve your credit score. Step number one is to actually know what is your credit score. In Canada, there are two credit bureaus. One of them is Equifax and the other is TransUnion. Equifax and TransUnion charge you a small fee every year in order for you to know what is your credit score. Since I am all into saving money in every area that we can, I will also be telling you some ways that you can check your credit score without paying a fee to do that. Most of the banks in Canada offer you that service for free through their mobile banking app. So if you check on your mobile banking, I don't know which bank you bank with, but there is most likely that option to check your credit score. Another way to know your credit score for free in Canada is by using those two companies. One of them is named Credit Karma and the other one is Borrowwell. Credit Karma goes with TransUnion and Borrowwell go with Equifax. Equifax and TransUnion, they have slightly different credit score because they calculate your credit score differently. So to have everything covered, it's best that you go with both of them so this way you can see what is one is missing or if both of them are equal. It's important to check your credit report regularly. Your credit report doesn't only show you your credit score, but it also shows you all the past inquiries that you've made to receive credit from a company. So this way, if your account was ever frauded, you are able to see what are these mistakes that are in your credit reports. If there is any, you need to contact either Equifax or TransUnion to fix that mistake, especially if it was fraud, because you might be hurting your credit score by not verifying it. You don't have to check it every day, but you can check your credit report regularly. Personally, I check mine at the end of each month. or if you want, you can do that quarterly. By doing this, you are still in the window of, if there is a fraud, you can still report it to your financial institution. There is There is a myth out there that every time you check your credit score, it's hurting your actual credit score. But it's a myth. Every time you check your credit score, it's called a soft inquiry, which means it does not affect your credit score at all. So go ahead after watching this video and check your credit score to see where you are at. Number two, you need to always pay your bills on time. I cannot emphasize this enough. In order to have good credit, you need to pay your bills on time. And I'm talking about your mortgages, your credit cards, phone bills, utility bills, everything bills, you need to pay them on time. Because what happens is, if you miss a credit card payment, it's not only about the fact that you will be paying extra fees, but you will also have a hit on your credit bureau. And this ultimately will just have your credit score and get it declined to the bottom. So it is very important to at least make the minimum payment that is on your statement every single month. And if you can, it's always important to pay your credit card in full, because the amount of interest you're paying on your credit card, you will almost never have that much interest back in return if you were to invest that money. So do yourself a favor, pay your bill on time. Because by paying your credit card bills, like I said, especially your credit card bills, and of course your mortgage bills, because you don't want to lose your house. So it is important to pay your bill on time. Because once your credit bureau is hit by, or your credit history is hit by that missed payment, sometimes it can take 6 years to be removed from your credit history. So it's important. If there is anything I want you to remember today, guys, is to always pay your bills on time. Step number 3. I know a lot of you love to pay with either cash or debit card, which is fine, but it's not fine if you're trying to have an excellent credit. Well, it's time for you to use your credit card. So now what I'm suggesting is not to go out there and use your credit card just so you can build your credit. What I'm suggesting is, if let's say you plan to spend $200 in grocery this week, instead of using that money in cash, you use your credit card to pay. And once you receive that statement in the mail, then you pay, or online, you pay that $200. So you don't spend more money than you otherwise would spend. You would spend the same exact amount, except that by using the card, because it is borrowed money, it's increased your credibility. So companies realize when they check your credit history that you use credit or borrowed money, but you always are responsible and pay that on time. Tip number 4, apply for credit card as soon as possible. If you're a young adult watching this video, as soon as you turn 18, you should apply for a credit card. Most banks and credit unions give you the option as a student to have a student credit card. Usually, it is a limited amount, sometimes between $500 to $1,500. So it's very important that once you receive that card, that you manage it really well. And if for any reason they wouldn't approve you just by yourself, then if you're a parent of an 18-year-old, then I would counsel you to be a co-applicant on this card with your child. Because by having your credit history as early as possible, by the time you will be ready to, after you get married or even before that, to buy a house, then you would have enough credit history that show your credibility into the finance world in order to borrow money. So it is important to apply as soon as possible. If because of many mistakes in the past on the way that you handled your credit, you have a very bad credit score right now, and you cannot even be approved for a credit card, another option would be to have what they call a secured credit card. So usually a secured credit card is that you put some money down, and that money you put down is the limit on the credit card. So you use your own money to secure that credit card, and by doing this and continuously paying that credit card back, even though it's your own money, you can boost your credit score back up. So it's very important right now, if you have a very bad credit score and you will not even be approved, to check to see which banks or credit unions are offering secured credit card. So that can be a very good way for you to start boosting your credit score back up. Tip number 5. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to credit card is the way they max out their credit card. This is a killer for your credit score. You would at any given time want your balance to be 30% or less of the credit card limit. What I mean by that is, let's say you have a credit card that is $1,000. You shouldn't go about spending $1,000 on that credit card. You should be spending $300 or less. How do you solve that problem? Well, it's by asking for a credit limit increase with your financial institution. So now let's say you have a card that what used to be $1,000 and they are able to give you $5,000 credit limit increase. So now you are able to spend about $1,500, and that will not be hurting your credit history. So every time with your credit card, you open your mobile app and you have a pop-up that says something like, you're pre-approved for a credit card limit increase, go forward and accept it, because that will give you more room to spend more money and make bigger purchase, but you will still stay under the 30% utilization. So it's very important that you do not max out your credit card. And as of now, watching this video, if that's the case for you, try everything possible to decrease that by asking for a credit limit increase. Another thing is to spread your spending on different credit cards. So ultimately what we want is not having credit card debts at all. But in the meantime, to boost your credit, what you can do is that you would spread those on different cards. So each card will stay below that ratio of 30%. There you have it, guys. 5 easy steps you can take to improve your credit score here in Canada. So if you found this video helpful, please hit the share button and share this video on your social media. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions and that you would want me to answer, leave it in the comment below. And also don't forget to leave a comment to let me know what other videos or other topics you would want me to talk about next. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.